truth is, you're not tired because you're doing too much. It may seem like that. You're tired because you're doing the wrong things. I remember getting to a point in my life where things looked good at work and in life in general. But inside, I was stressed. And honestly, I didn't know you could feel stressed. I really didn't know. I would hear that people put on weight, and yes, it made sense because you're holding lots of cortisol. But I did not know that you could actually feel stress. Every year I'd make a wish list or a new list, more goals, getting this done, more pushing and proving, basically. Then one birthday, I thought to myself, what if I give, and of course, through coaching, what if I gave myself the woman that I desire to be, come to be? What if I gave my future self something different? Like, what about not just writing things that I want to get and have and own and accomplish? What if it's an experience? So instead of another goal, give myself a different gift, right? And I'll be honest, it really wasn't because I saw the light or suddenly became enlightened. It was because of that stress that I mentioned. I felt really stressed. And my chest was tight. I was just sort of going through the motions. Middle of the week, I'm like, have a good weekend. It was crazy. I was feeling stressed. Kept moving like the world would fall apart. Meanwhile, I was falling apart. I mean, what an ego, right? Because truly, if I wasn't there, everything would still happen. But anyway, so I started to give myself this gift, and it was like a tiny thing, and I didn't necessarily call it a gift. I just said this year, at this age, I'm going to do this. So what I really ended up doing was carving out periods during the month, during the week, that I would honor certain things that I had said. So it would be like a period of time where I would say that I wouldn't spend more than an hour online per day or per week. Period of time as the months, as the year progressed, where I would say I would not honor any, or I wouldn't go to any activities or any outings, like the social outings, that I didn't feel like going to, or that I couldn't afford to go to, even, right? It would be periods of time where I would say, I'm not responding to this text in the minute, which is what I would typically do, or even at all. So these are the things that, those small, I had set up for myself, and so my essentially my gift was more of me. And again, it wasn't as eloquently put, but that's essentially what it was. I was carving out periods of time during the day, during the week, where I had identified that tightness, that stress was coming from, and I started to honor them. It wasn't easy, but because, again, remember, we've been programmed to do, to do, to do. And so I was even a candidate for FOMO, where if I wasn't doing, I felt like I was missing out. I felt like I'd wake up and everybody would have all this success, and I'd be there stuck with my 3-year old car. You know what I mean? So it wasn't always easy, but what I realized was, as I continued to practice it, I felt lighter and lighter. And once you start to see and reap the benefits of what you're doing, it becomes more consistent. I also remember saying that I was going to eat fries. I enjoy fries, but for so long, because I didn't want to, put on more weight, I would. But it, you and I both know in our hearts that it's not the one meal here or there that results in all of that. So sometimes it was not responding to a text in the moment, or an email in the moment, or even at all, or it was eating fries and enjoying it with zero guilt. And so that's when I realized that the version of me who created the life that was running, that I was running on, was in an earning mode. I felt I was driven by the desire, by the compulsion to do, do, do. To, if I don't do this, I won't be respected. If I don't show up, I won't have friends. Even if I don't say this, I would be looked at as being incompetent or not knowing what I was doing. But the woman I'm becoming, or at the time when I gave myself the gift, the woman I was becoming, the woman who I am now, needed space, needed self love, needed to be who she was, needed to be still. And, fortunately, I was able to start that process when realized that if I kept going the way I was going, I would just feel like maybe I would even die. Stress is crazy, not to, make light of it. So trust me, or not. But if you don't slow down, if you don't just pause, you will not never hear what's next for you. And you'll just keep going and going and going. You need to stop. You need to pause and listen. Listen to yourself. Listen to what your heart is calling you. Enough of the doing. Let's get off that strong black woman trap. So I want you to ask yourself, in the light of that, this is what I want you to ask yourself. And you don't have to wait till your birthday. If your birthday is tomorrow, woohoo, happy birthday. But you know what? Every day is a day that we're born because we're alive, right? So ask yourself, what's one gift my future self or my next version woman or my whatever, right? However you want to phrase it, will thank you for truly, so that when you look back on that year, what is it that you would like to thank yourself for? Ask. It's a very powerful, very small, but very powerful, potent reflection prompt. And remember, it doesn't have to be deep. I went from not returning text messages or email messages. I went from spending less time on social media so that I wouldn't compare myself to everybody. I went from not always being available to attend in social things where I really didn't want to go, couldn't afford to go, to honoring myself to stay in and read and do all the other things that I truly enjoyed. So it could be things like that. It doesn't have to be this deep thing. Maybe for you, it's taking the next 60 seconds in your car before you walk in to just breathe, right? You get to the place, and rather than just rushing and, take a deep breath, you know? That's how the heaviness and that tightness, and that's how you disrupt essentially that mode, or you begin to disrupt that mode of earning everything that we think we have to earn that we already have. That's how you interrupt it. It's just one small, authentic, or honest truth, as I like to call it. So ask yourself as I wrap up, what's one gift my future self will thank me for? Imagine yourself in 2027 or 26 and looking back and saying, huh, Jite, you put your name, you did it. Thank you for doing that. Because of that, I am now blah, 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 whatever it is, right? And yeah, if you're not in that place right now, I have an offer that I would like to share with you. I would love for you to avail yourself of the Fulfilled Black Woman's Guide. The link is below the video. It will help you to see where you've been working to earn love, worth, validation, all those things that society, culture has programmed us to believe that we have to earn. But rather, we already own, instead of telling us or instead of showing us that we already have it, we already own it. You are worthy just as you are. You are lovable. You are loved just as you are. You don't have to do anything more, add anything else. Success is great, but when success becomes the driving force behind everything that you're doing, that's when you get into this trap. So it will help you to it will help you to see where you've been performing instead of living, and it will remind you what your next aligned move is, one that is your soul's desire, right? That gift that you're going to give your soul at this point. And if you're ready to just dive deep, to skip the line, to get into what we do in the Embody program, comment Embody. I'll share the link with you so that you can see what it's about, to see if it's a good fit for you. I'll see you in the next video.